Cam Newton agreed to a one-year deal with the Patriots. This offseason has been a lot of quarterbacks re-signing, signing, moving around. It's probably the most quarterback-rich environment of my life. Look at that picture of Cam in the Patriots. He looks skinnier in that, doesn't he? He looks thinner. Dark colors do that. So here we go. Here's my best for last. I'm going to grade all the acquisitions.
All right, Professor Colin. What grade are you giving the BUCS for signing Tom Brady?
Well, I think it's an A. They've got the pieces. They just need efficiency and leadership. Pro Football Focus says they're the best, fifth best offensive group, fifth best roster. This, to me, is not about lacking talent. What they sort of need is an adult, a winner, kind of a culture change, a little more responsibility, taking care of the football. So this is I think everybody in Tampa knows, they don't need Tom to be himself dynamic. Just distribute the heck out of that thing, lower the mistakes, and this is a 10-6 team if you just distribute smartly.
What grade do you give the Saints for re-signing Drew Brees?
I think they need to start looking at the future. I'd say an A-. Again, this is a great roster. They add Emmanuel Sanders. I do think they need to get serious about the backup. I don't think Taysom Hill's a franchise guy to me. But again, this roster is a lot of distribution at this point. It's a lot of getting the ball to players that can do it themselves. So I think for another year, this works. But they got to step on it because I don't think Taysom or Jameis is probably their future.
What grade do you give the Titans for keeping Ryan Tannehill?
C-. A lot of money for Ryan. Let's not kid ourselves here. He threw for 369 total yards in 3 playoff games combined. They were too good to get a draft pick. Tennessee's one of those teams. Had they moved up for Jordan Love, I would have argued it made success. Tannehill's the classic. Good enough to win games. Mostly takes care of the football. He'll give you about 1 or 2 shots downfield a game. But I think there's a ceiling on this. It's pretty low, and I think they overpaid for him.
What grade do you give the Colts for signing Phillip Rivers?
C-. Didn't love it. He's the least athletic quarterback in the league. Here's the good news. It's a tremendous offensive line, and he'll have time to throw. And he was good 2 years ago. But he's never really been good in big games. And I think they look at that organization. They're good enough to win games. They want to win games that matter now, and he's not been consistent in those. Last year he had 20 picks. So I don't think the Colts have the Chargers' weapons. I think the Colts have the better O-line. So, you can't move the pocket with him. It's kind of a limited offense, so I don't love it.
What grade are you giving the Panthers for signing Teddy Bridgewater?
I thought that was the sneaky move of the offseason. A-. I mean, he's not a huge talent. But Matt Rule brings in a new offense, and Teddy is one of these pick up a system fast. He's a grown-up, totally focused. Again, I think Carolina's weapons are better than we think. McCaffrey's a monster, and I think DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel are really good players. So I think he is kind of the antithesis of Cam. Smaller, limited, but you get a guy who few mistakes, focused, to me, he's Drew Brees. He's Drew Brees. That's what you're looking at, and I think I'd pay money for Drew Brees.
Well, he certainly stepped in for Drew Brees last year. What grade do you give the Bears for acquiring Nick Foles?
I say B+, but the more I think about it, it's C+. Listen, I don't like Nick Foles' contract at all. I think what they did, though, I will give them the high grade for this. They admitted the Trubisky thing's a con. We whiffed on it. We butchered it. It's not good. We're not going to fake it. So to bring in Nick Foles at that dollar amount, the general manager is acknowledging I whiffed. And that's, you have a problem. The first step is admitting you have a problem. Right. They're not faking out. They're not tricking us anymore. They're like, we got to get a pocket guy who can throw the ball down the field.
What grade are you giving the Saints for signing Jameis Winston?
A B. I think he's worth a small contract. I think he's productive. I'm kind of interested to see if you gave him 2 years there, does he get rid of all the bad judgment, pick sixes? There's something there with him. He's big with a good arm. I've seen him win shootouts. He's productive. People like him. The question for me is, okay, can you just clean him up? Just clean him up. A lot of bad throws.
The Raiders signed Marcus Mariota. What grade are you giving them?
I didn't like it. D. First of all, Derek Carr, could you put your arms around him for an hour?
No,
I mean, God, the guy's already got self-esteem problems. So you bring in Mariota, who, I mean, Mariota's kind of limited. You know, he's kind of a nonverbal guy at a verbal spot. He's a good backup, but does he take snaps away from Derek Carr? Does he make Derek Carr think, good God, you guys aren't... Like, at some point, you got to show just a little love for Derek Carr, who I've got is about the 12th best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, you know, you can keep telling me Derek Carr can't play, but my eyes tell me makes a lot of... He's got a little Tony Romo to him. I don't think he's quite as good, but he's pretty good. And I think this is just disruptive.
What grade are you giving the Cowboys for franchising Dak?
A B+. I just want to see him with McCarthy. I think he'll have a pretty good year. I want to see him with McCarthy. The offensive line's getting old. It's not as good as it was 3 years ago. He's not going to have the support up front. So let's kind of see how this works out. Now, the good news is between CeeDee Lamb and improving Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper, this is now a really, really good wide receiving core. So my guess is Dak's going to sign a franchise for a year. He's going to be better than he was at the end of last year, and he'll get 4 to 5 years at a big price tag.
Finally, Professor Colin, what grade are you giving the Patriots for signing Cam Newton?
Kind of a CC-. It's a weird fit. The one thing I'll say, it feels like to me they're saying, next year we're going to get a mobile college quarterback. We better figure it out with Cam first. So it's kind of an experiment on, you know, this is a Hollywood marriage, let us sizzle, probably not going to last forever. But I think they're saying, we're going in this direction. Let's at least get a year of Cam before we officially go in this direction, which is big quarterback who can move around and run. And we are out of time. Good. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.